You a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
And yes, here we are again another day, committed to being your consumer advocate, helping you understand your buying decisions, making you just a bit more street smart here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, helping you win in any marketplace. Save our hotline number in your phone. At some point you may need it. We welcome the calls and text messages at 813-750-0550. Call or text 813-750-0550. And make sure you bookmark consumerqb.com. Save that in your web browser, consumerqb.com. A plethora of resources here at the Consumer Quarterback Show. 50 different show partners ranging from CPAs, financial advisors, all types of great attorneys with different legal specializations, home services of all types as well, solar technologies, home inspectors, and more. ConsumerQB.com, and we're going to help you win. No matter what you're facing out there, just reach out. We'd love to connect with you. And we always like to feature our real estate listings live on air here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. And we've got some great opportunities here in Tampa Bay. Just listed 1602 East MLK. This is Gill's Body Shop. Been in business for about 45 years. He's got a great reputation. Great opportunity to buy a turnkey operation with a great reputation, and you'll be able to start earning money day one at 1602 East MLK right here in Tampa Bay. Gill's Body Shop is available for sale. Great location, busy corner lot, 45-year-old business here in beautiful Tampa Bay. And also, we've got a property on Clearwater Beach, 1010 Bay Esplanade, North Clearwater Beach. This is a great opportunity for a investor. Potentially, you could rent this out. You have 2 different units where you could rent out the apartment. Also, there's a 3rd-story sun deck, updated kitchen. Just a great opportunity to own real estate right on Clearwater Beach, Millionaires Row on the north side of Clearwater Beach. Check it out on our website, PlatinumMVPTeam.com. .kw.com. That's PlatinumMVPTeam.kw.com. And we got a great lineup for you today here. We got Chuck Peterson later in the show, Suncoast Roofing. Shane SOCASH, one of our newer expert contributors. He is an expert in the areas of alternative investments, talking about precious metals, gold, silver, diamonds, David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin on the Consumer Quarterback Show. And we're starting off here with Lauren Frieder, attorney Lauren Frieder, that is, Frank Charles Miranda Law. Hey, Lauren.
Hey, Brandon. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing well. And yourself?
I'm doing great.
Hey, good to hear it. So there's a lot of stuff happening. I want to jump right into it because you've got some really cool updates for us, things, happening not only, on the Florida side, Florida liability for damages related to COVID. What else are you seeing out there, Lauren?
Well, obviously, as you know, we're seeing a lot. And what's going on right now is, it's great to see people getting vaccinated. So one of the many questions that I have gotten from people, clients and non-clients, are, can employers require their employees to get vaccinated? And the short answer to that is actually yes.
Wow, interesting. Okay.
So that's going on. We've got the liability for damages Senate bill coming up. It's going to pass most likely on Thursday in the House, and it's a very sweeping legislation. It's going to protect a lot of business owners, physicians, healthcare providers, and nursing homes. And then, as you know, in the federal world, we've got our mortgage moratorium expiring at the end of this month. But what about evictions again? So,
yeah,
Florida bills that have been proposed to help tenants out.
So what do you think is going to happen there? Well, so the mortgage moratorium, a lot of people are concerned, tenants and landlords alike. What do you think is going to partake there?
Well, that's a really great question because I'm always curious to hear other people's responses. I think that it could possibly be extended. I would be surprised if it wasn't. But if it does not, I think we are going to have a lot of foreclosures coming up very quickly. Maybe the market will be better for some of these people looking to buy, but I would say in the Tampa area, not to expect that. We are in a crazy market, so don't get excited about foreclosures coming to help this market.
Yeah, What a challenging time for all people, really. You look at the landlord-tenant situation, and landlords, they buy properties in an effort to potentially make a profit and rent them out, and then they got to pay their mortgage still, unless, of course, they paid cash for it. But, I imagine a lot of them have leveraged, what they call OPM, other people's money, to be a sophisticated buyer and an investor. So the landlords buy these properties, tenants are in place, COVID hits, and it's been, how long have they been in a position where they're not able to collect rents?
Well, in Florida you are, so you're fine unless your tenant has went ahead and filed that CDC guideline sworn affidavit under oath that they were affected by COVID-19, which is kind of halted stuff in that sense. But, for a while now, as we know, thank gosh, Florida's been open. So our evictions are going through seemingly. There are, 2 proposed bills because of what's happened, obviously, from the pandemic and the way our Florida statute reads, which is super easy if you want to do an eviction. But there's 2 proposed bills that have come up relating to evictions to try to help tenants. The first one is Senate Bill 926. And what that talks about is expunging your court record if you were evicted and can show that the eviction was directly caused from the impact of COVID-19. And I think that that's very important for renters to know that they might be able to get the scarlet letter E off of their background check, because landlords, of course, are always wanting to make sure that somebody timely pays their rent. And typically when you're evicted, that's going to stay on your credit for about 7 years. So that's nice. At the same token, I think they're from a landlord perspective that could kind of probably be abused. Maybe we would all want to know the full factors as to why you couldn't pay your rent during COVID-19 instead of it just being signed and sealed and nobody knows about it. The other Senate bill that has been proposed is Senate Bill 1090, and what that does, it removes the pay-to-play part of the statute that makes somebody as a tenant who wants to contest their eviction or fight it, they right now have to pay all of the rent into the court registry to even get into court. And that is really hard. It's a quick process, so you might have just lost all of your ability to even argue a wrongful eviction if you didn't have the money to get into the court registry. So that's kind of the pay-to-play part of the statute that we talk about that gives you access to courts to fight your eviction. In fairness, you should not have to pay to play to go to court. So I think that this bill might make a little bit more sense to me as an attorney that represents mostly landlords, though I think it could also make things go super long and stretch out evictions, which are pretty typically quick procedures.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I mean, pay to play. I mean, people are already in a bad position as it comes if they've gotten evicted. So that to me just doesn't seem fair. And the purpose of law and order and justice is justice. I mean, that doesn't seem like it's a fair way to treat people. And again, it also with circumstances, relating to a pandemic, and a lot of this may not be their fault, as it might have just been more of a clear-cut case 5 or 10 years ago.
I agree. I mean, and in fairness, I definitely believe that there's probably just how it is, the pay-to-play as it is, even if we didn't have a pandemic, it's very kind of questionable, borderline. I'm surprised that it might still be in play today. So we'll see what happens. I'll be watching those Senate bills to see if they move on to the House. Those are newer. And the one we have discussed before, I think last time I was on your show, is the Senate Bill 72, which is the liability for damages relating to COVID, and that we know will pass.
Yeah. By the way, if you just joined us, we're talking with attorney Lauren Frieder here from Frank Charles Miranda Law, also a real estate law firm, and they do title closings as well as other types of litigation and law. By the way, what type of law do you practice, Lauren?
Well, we practice a lot of type of law, so a lot of civil litigation, which would encompass any type of specialty. So that specialty of civil litigation is going to court. Today you're seeing me via Zoom, which is almost now my courthouse for now.
Yeah.
So, but beyond that, real estate really is our big baby. So it's personal injury, commercial and business issues. And really our goal is to try to keep you out of court. So if we can get to you ahead of time before any poor decision-making comes about, then that is great. We're there to help you out.
Yeah, that's important. Sometimes people have hot heads and they fly off the handle and say, "Well, I'll call my attorney and I'll see you in court." It's always better to try to work it out amicably prior to going to that last resort.
Absolutely. It's expensive. It's a gamble. By the time you come to the courts, which is a last resort, or even go to the attorneys, then people are really upset once you get lawyers involved and the courts involved, and it's kind of out of your hands. So if you can work it out, absolutely do. I always tell people to document every time they've tried to work something out, put it in writing, follow up. So if we had a phone conversation, then I'm going to send an email that says, per our phone conversation, Mr. Brandon Rhymes on March 23rd at whatever time it is, this is what we talked about. And that just keeps a paper trail. That way, if you do end up in court, it's going to make everybody's job a lot easier, including the fact finder, which is the judge or the jury.
Yeah, that's exactly right, and it's interesting you say that because we have with our Keller Williams company, the group that owns our offices. I think there's 3 different offices, maybe 4 now, but the group did $1.7 billion in real estate sales, and every year the owner has a meeting to that effect. It's basically, hey, how to avoid litigation, how to avoid some of these situations. But that's one of the key things that you take away from it every year is if you have a situation where there's a property issue and the buyer's frustrated or complaining about this, and then there's verbal, where to make that a short scenario is whenever you have a verbal, there's no backing to it. So if you have that email follow-up to that verbal conversation where the parties may have agreed or, hey, we're going to have our contract over there to double check it to make sure things happen, as long as it's in writing, it's really going to help you remember that because it's always going to be 6 or 8 months or a year later. And you're like, wait, I can barely remember what happened.
Yes, everything in writing is best. So obviously you're not required to put everything in writing, but for sure when we're talking about real estate, you are. So I think that's really important. Down to realtors right now, it's a hot market. So people that are working together, if you want to split commissions, put it in writing. Something lately I've seen people not doing, and then they come to us and they say, well, let's look at that paper trail of how you guys were performing before you came to me. So it's really important, like you said, put it all in writing if you can. Cheaper and easy.
So, Lauren, what else are you seeing on the COVID-19 front? Have you noticed mask mandates or any other issues with mask being worn and that's also interesting that can employers require employees to get vaccinated? The answer is yes. That's pretty interesting too.
It's a short answer, of course. It's a very, very short answer. So when I say yes, obviously we're getting a great time where you can choose not to get vaccinated or not, but to let people know that our employers or employees, especially in Florida, because we are an at-will employment state, so we really, as employees, have less of an upper hand. So unless you're under contract or in a union, Florida employees have few rights, and you could be terminated for just about anything. And right now, that reason could include refusing a vaccine if the employer requires it. Like I said, there's always exceptions to the rules. So if an employee says, I don't want to get the vaccine for religious reasons, or they have a disability or a health concern, then you have to engage in what we call the interactive process to see if there's a reasonable alternative to that, such as wearing the mask or working from home remotely. So what's really important when I say short answer, yes, employers can mandate a COVID-19 vaccine as long as they comply with all of the equal employment opportunity laws. That's a lot of laws. So, I think the better idea is just to let people decide for themselves and then go ahead and put precautions in place for the people that didn't decide to get the vaccine. As you do have under OSHA, you have the right to require some employees to get the flu vaccine. So if the same happens for COVID-19, once it gains the final FDA approval, then under OSHA as well, you might have to be required to get the flu vaccine. And that can happen a lot of times in healthcare situations. But do I think that most employees are going to require this? Absolutely not. Yeah.
It just seems like a stretch. I mean, because you've always heard it too about getting on an airplane. That could be where people are saying, wow, I have to get a vaccine now that I don't agree with just to be able to fly. And then, the challenges that come around that. It's interesting how this thing can affect so many areas of life and business.
It really is. I'm very excited about the vaccine process, but I also know a lot of people that are hesitant towards it. So it's everybody's lives for the last year have been extremely affected one way or another by all this pandemic stuff. So it's exciting to get back to normalcy. We're lucky enough to be in the state of Florida where I feel like there's been a lot of normalcy over time, and we didn't see those surges that people predicted. So I think the Floridians, the residents, are doing a great job of just using common sense and showing that we don't need all these strict rules in place and mandates, which actually infringes upon our abilities to make independent and free decisions. So I think we're doing a great job here.
That's right. All right. Final thoughts here. Lauren Frieder, Attorney Lauren Frieder, Frank Charles Miranda Law, right here in Tampa. Cypress Street is the address as well, right here in Tampa. Final thoughts, Lauren.
My final thoughts, Lauren, if you think you have a lawsuit for COVID-19, you better file it today because the rules are changing. And once this law does take place, which will probably be the end of this week, you've got a 1-year statute of limitations to bring that claim. It's almost impossible to bring against practitioners, businesses. The standard is so low to get your claim barred that good luck with that. So stay safe and make good decisions. If you think you have a lawsuit, file it now because those rules, once this passes, do not apply to already filed COVID-19 lawsuits. Thank gosh for those who filed them already.
Awesome. Well, hey, thanks so much, Lauren. We appreciate you reaching out. What's the website where people can find you?
Absolutely, Brandon. It is www.fcmlaw.com.
fcmlaw.com. Awesome. All right, Lauren, thanks so much. Have a good day.
Bye. Thanks so much, Brandon. Take care.
Hey, my pleasure. Take care. All right, coming up, Shane SOCASH, David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin. We're going to talk about investment alternatives, alternative investment options out there in the market. And he's got a great location right here in St. Pete, Florida. And we'll be right back with our expert contributor, Shane SOCASH, here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Make sure you check out consumerqb.com.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show. And I say, Brandon Rhymes, knock out your competition.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
My friends, when choosing a listing agent to sell your home, their track record is critically important. Dennis Prager here for Brandon and Lindsay Rhymes, owners of Platinum MVP Team at Keller Williams Real Estate. They're consistently rated by the MLS in the top 1% of all Tampa Bay realtors, and that's a big deal. Brandon and Lindsay are always among the top realtors in the state. Call them today at 813-750-0550.
Find them at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
Selling commercial or residential property? Don't leave money on the table. List with the Platinum MVP Team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm Brandon Rhymes. Reach me at 813-670-7372 or platinummvpteam.com.
My name is James DeJerome, and I produce the Consumer Quarterback Show for Brandon Rhymes. The Consumer Quarterback Show is a team, a group of like-minded professionals who partner together to provide our audience sound advice, knowledge, and information to make them wiser consumers. We work with all types of business owners and aggressively promote our local economy. We're currently conducting interviews for our expert contributors. If you own a business or know someone who would benefit from the exposure our show provides, please contact us at 813-750-0550 or online at consumerqb.com.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We appreciate you hanging out with us here and spending some time supporting the Salem radio family right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, supporting our 50-plus show partners here as the expert contributors of the Consumer Quarterback Show. We greatly appreciate that as well. Save our hotline. We'd love to connect with you, 813-750-0550. You can call or text that number, 813-750-0550.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
And consumerqb.com, consumerqb.com. You can see links there to all of our expert contributors. All right, we got some hot property listings here in Tampa Bay. I want to let you know about a couple of our properties that we've got on the market. 5103 Rose Place. This is an affordable property in Pinellas Park, listed around $90,000. I think we just did a price reduction on this one. 5103 Rose Place, Pinellas Park. Great buying opportunity, great investment opportunity. You could rent it out and definitely cash flow that property. 5402 US Highway 92. We got a bar for sale. This is commercial real estate property for sale. The Finish Line Saloon. I've got tax returns in there as well. I think she's making around $10,000 to $12,000 a week in cash money. A lot of sales and revenue and sales. 5402 US Highway 92. Got a bar for sale right here in Tampa Bay, centrally located. 4 COP beverage license, turnkey establishment. Been in business for a long time. You can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. And this segment is brought to you by Brothers Easy Moving, the official moving partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Big shout out to Gary Thacker and his team over at Brothers Easy Moving. Make sure you let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. You can take them up on special offers. Whether you're planning a local or long distance move, reach out to Brothers Easy Moving. Make sure you let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. All right, we got our friend Shane SOCASH back on the show. David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin. Welcome back.
Hello there, Brandon.
Hello, how are you today?
I'm doing well.
Awesome. Good to hear it. Yep. So it's, what an interesting market we're in. Bitcoin is surging. People are looking for those alternative investment opportunities, and you've got some of the best opportunities, precious metals, gold, silver, diamonds, and more over at David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin.
We have it all, definitely.
Tell me about some of the rare coins you have.
So we make a market in rare coins as well. We have, specifically, we don't have anything hot in the store right at this second. Of course, we can always track items down. But, we buy a lot of collections. Grandpa passed away. The family inherits Grandpa's collection. It doesn't mean as much to them, and so they'll bring it in, and we will purchase it from the public, the family.
Excellent. Yeah, that's great. And then gemstones, that's something we haven't spoke much about. I know you are GIA certified, and gemstones are interesting once you learn more about them.
Definitely. And, I think that's a separate subject matter from investing. In all honesty, diamonds and gemstones, they are a retail product or a consumer product. I mean, there is profit to be made, and it's not, I always caution my clients when they come in and they're buying diamonds as an investment, quote unquote. It really isn't. It's a consumer product, and while it does retain value, unlike a bicycle that you buy from Walmart and you try to sell it 30 days later, it basically has no value. You push it out to the curb. A diamond has residual value. But the reality is in a 10-year period, you don't truly expect a diamond to go up in value. It's more a symbol of your love, and that does hold some residual value.
Yeah. So that's interesting, and when you look at gold and silver, a lot of people have been kind of worried. They're seeing, hey, my politicians are watering down, the dollar's value over. Right at $5 trillion of recently printed money over the last 12 to 18 months. And then you look at that and you think about, wow, what is that going to do to the money that's in my bank account or in my pocketbook? And you start really considering that, and you start thinking about alternative options and how you can store that value of money. So I want to ask you about that when we come back. Just kind of get into some of the precious metals, gold, silver, and sure, ways that you are seeing what you're seeing from some of the investors out there, and also a little bit more on David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin and all that you offer there as well on the show. Stay with us right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Coming up, Shane SOCASH here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Plus, later in the show, Chuck Peterson, Suncoast Roofing here as well. Going to update you on things happening in that space. And our feel-good story of the day, man loses $1 million lottery ticket, then finds it hours later in a parking lot. Stay with us. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
This is Chris Voss, former FBI lead hostage negotiator and owner of the Black Swan Group, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
Five, four, three, two, one.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
And we're back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here. I'm your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, ranked in the top 1%. My wife Lindsay and I own a top-ranked real estate team here in Tampa Bay, helping our sellers profit more on the sale of their real estate properties, investors find the right deal for them, and also buyers navigate this very interesting low inventory market. Multiple offers, highest and best situations are the norm. So you got to work with the best to be able to get your deal accepted. 813-750-0550. Call or text our hotline, 813-750-0550. ConsumerQB.com. Plethora of information available at ConsumerQB.com. We can help you win in any marketplace, as we say as well. And a quick shout out to Brandon Porter and his team with Veteran Gutters. Big shout out to our veterans, by the way. We offer discounts for any deals that we do with our veterans, but Veteran Gutters, owned by Brandon Porter here. They're USA-made product, made in the USA. Veteran Gutters, they did a great job on my family's home, and adding gutters to your home can extend the roof life and also help you, maintain the flower beds and things of that nature. Veteran Gutters, longtime friends of the program. Make sure you let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. And a couple of hot property listings here for this segment. We got a lot of real estate listings, about 40 different property listings. About 15 of those are vacant land, 15 vacant land listings that we can help you with. And we got one right here in South Tampa, 202 South West Shore Drive in South Tampa. This is a great opportunity. It's at the corner of West Shore and Cleveland, over there by the Starbucks. I believe that's a Panera on the corner as well. 202 South West Shore Boulevard right here in Tampa. Great opportunity to buy a lot, a corner lot. You can build a house or potentially have it zoned for a commercial building. Great opportunity here in beautiful Tampa Bay. 304 East Waters Avenue in Tampa. Another vacant lot, vacant land piece, perfect for a car dealership right here in Tampa Bay, close to I-275, 304 East Waters Avenue in Tampa. And you can see all of our listings at PlatinumMVPTeam.kw.com. PlatinumMVPTeam.kw.com. All right, Shane SOCASH here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. David Reynolds, Jewelry and Coin. Shane, tell us a little bit about your storefront and where you're located, my friend.
Central Avenue and 40th Street, St. Pete. We've been on Central Avenue since 1971.
Very nice, yeah. So Central Avenue, St. Pete, bustling area. Seems like it's a very growing, busy area. 40th Avenue is the corner there.
Central Avenue, 40th Street.
Central Avenue, 40th Street. Okay, and so talk to me a little bit about when people come in. What are they saying? Because it seems like people. What's the pulse of the market that you're seeing? It seems like people are wondering, like, as it kind of like I was alluding to before, is that hey, the water's being watered down, or the dollar, the American dollar, is our politicians are printing so much money. It seems like people are kind of concerned about the value of the dollar that they're holding.
Absolutely. Over the course of the past 8 months, and having been here 21 years, I've sold more gold and silver over the past 6 months than I have. It has to be close to my entire career combined.
Wow.
It is just people do not have faith in what our politicians are choosing to do, in terms of, watering down our dollar, as you say. And even today, I'm watching the metals, and silver has been inching back the last few days, and gold is inching back. And I don't know how that's possible, because I will tell you that supply is down. It's harder to get our hands on the stuff because so many people are buying, and the demand is just incredibly high. Like, I think now could be a potentially good time to buy as it recedes a little bit, because if it's being held back artificially, I don't know how long they can hold it back. Just because it's supply and demand.
Yeah, it really is such an interesting time in our country's history. From the time that we came off the gold standard to now, it just seems like every time Congress wants to print more money, they can, which actually is not even printing money, I'm told. It's more of just decimal points on a computer screen, electronic money.
Right.
So it makes it, and there's not much accountability. These people are in with the corporations, and so it's really sad what they're doing. But it's a challenge. So how can we overcome that challenge? Well, be smart with your money, invest properly, look at options. There's an opportunity to invest in storage facilities as well. I got a clip from the Charlie Kirk podcast I'm going to play. Hopefully you can hear it, my friend. I'm not sure if you can hear this or not, but I'm going to play a quick clip from the Charlie Kirk podcast. He's talking about real estate investment and storage facilities. Hey, stand by.
This was the fault of the American ruling class. They knew that this trade was out there. Cheaper consumer plastic, cheaper junk from China at the cost of an American middle class. They said that it was going to be worth it, and it wasn't. So we've got to reverse course. We've got to go back to the basic American system that we had in this country for 200 years, bipartisan consensus that you've got to be able to make things in your own country.
And I can prove it to people at how bad of a deal it has been. If we valued the piles of garbage we got from China, why are there $1 Dollar Tree stores at every corner? Why do people have garage sales? Why is the fastest growing real estate market in the country self-storage? I need stuff. I need extra square footage to be able to store my stuff that I can't have within my home. And this living on the excess of mountains of plastic, of things I don't value, made with quasi-slave labor halfway around the world, to try to pursue some sort of bumper sticker free market.
I'm going to pause it right there, but yeah, the points made is Charlie Kirk's making on the show is, it seems like Americans, we have all this extra stuff. A lot of it is plastic garbage, as he referred to, made in China, and then we go out and we invest in apartment, storage facilities. We have these extra boxes where we can store all of our extra stuff that we have, and it just brings it kind of full circle here when we're talking about investing. Real estate investors, a lot of them are investing in real estate storage facilities and even building from the ground up because they know that Americans, we can't let go of stuff. We like to keep it and store it. So interesting, Shane. I'm not sure if you were you able to hear that?
I heard it loud and clear. And you know what it makes me think is, don't store cheap Chinese plastic. Store gold and silver.
Exactly, that's right. Yeah, so these plastics and toys and just different whatnots and things that people want to hang on to. They're especially I see it a lot of times in real estate when people are selling and moving out. I've got a great company I work with. Jennifer Bell does a great job with home organizing options, but she'll come in and say, hey, this is a pile of stuff to donate. This is a pile of stuff that you might want to keep. And this is going to go out into the trash out by the road. So breaking it down for homeowners, because a lot of times it's just really ridiculous. It's really difficult for them to let go of things, but yeah, bringing it full circle, invest in things that are going to hold value and then also have intrinsic value as well, like gold and silver. And I'm told silver is also used in a lot of the communications and tech. It's a semiconductor. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. There are industry uses of gold, silver, platinum, and at any given point, you could be on the verge of industry finding a use for it. Platinum is one I talk about quite a bit with the people that, with some of the gentlemen and ladies and gentlemen that invest with me. I'll tell you, platinum, I have firsthand experience being a jeweler and working with metals my whole life. Platinum can do things no other metal can do. And I will tell you, it's low now, and it doesn't make sense. At some point, industry is going to find a use for platinum. Just like it has for palladium. That's why palladium's so expensive at this point.
Platinum. I'd like to hear that. My company name being Platinum MVP Team.
Exactly.
Keller Williams Realty. So what's the play there, Shane? You're saying that Platinum is somewhat seems to be undervalued right now just because it hasn't caught on.
So throughout history, it's been a popular metal. It's not as easy to get as gold and silver. We can get it. The premiums are a bit high on it. But this is a metal that typically is throughout history has been twice as much as gold, and today it's 2/3 as high as gold at this moment. So it's undervalued, and like I said, it does things no other metal can do.
Wow.
Industry will find a use for it at some point.
That's interesting. That's an interesting take. And again, we're talking with Shane SOCASH here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, owner of David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin, GIA certified. And last topic I wanted to talk about is because my wife, she loved, when we got engaged, I gave her of course, a diamond ring, and then she did some really cool things on the design of that. She put on some extra design work, but I think that's one of the cool things you do, and one of your specialties over there is creating, unique and innovative pieces for folks to enjoy.
Absolutely. 6 full-time jewelers here in our little store, and CAD design, everything from the oldest techniques historically to the most modern. We can basically accommodate any design that anyone could ever dream up, or we can help you dream it up if you don't have the vision.
Very good. All right, my friend. So final thoughts, parting words of advice. Shane SOCASH, David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin.
I have to say, buy some physical precious metals and get it locally. I really do believe that it's poised to go up.
Awesome. Reach out. Go visit them down on Central Avenue in St. Pete, corner of 40th and Central, and also online. What's the website again?
David Reynolds, jewelryandcoin.com.
David Reynolds, jewelryandcoin.com. Shane SOCASH, friend of the program. Thanks, you, buddy.
Thank you.
Take care. All right, coming back, we got Chuck Peterson here on the flip side of the break here. Chuck Peterson, Suncoast Roofing. We're going to talk about some of the contractor scams to look out for, things to be careful about in the contracting world, and also hurricane preparedness. Hey, it's a great time to get prepared right now. Suncoast Roofing on the show. Plus, our feel-good story of the day, man loses $1 million lottery ticket, and then he finds it hours later in a parking lot. Stay with us. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. For more information, go to consumerqb.com.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
This is Diane Vance with Fairway Independent Mortgage, a member of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Please give me a call for any of your mortgage needs. We do all sorts of loans. If you would like information on a mortgage, you can text me or call me at 727-647-8199. I will take care of all your mortgage needs. Go to my website at dianevance.com.
Ian Beckles here with my man Brandon Rhymes, a.k.a. the real estate quarterback. Brandon, what's happening with the market?
Thanks, Ian. We are in a low inventory market, so any of our listeners are homeowners and would like a free comparable market analysis or a 2.5% listing, we will honor this for the first 3 listeners who call or text in 813-773-1253. Free CMA and a 2.5% real estate listing at 813-773-1253. Check out consumerqb.com.
Selling commercial or residential property? Don't leave money on the table. List with the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm Brandon Rhymes. Reach me at 813-670-7372 or platinummvpteam.com.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams Realty, helping you win in any marketplace. and want to let you know about our feel-good story of the day.
Tell me something good.
All right, so we've got a man in Tennessee won big on a state lottery ticket, but nearly missed his chance of claiming the prize. Nick Slayton struck it lucky twice after winning the lottery, then finding the missing ticket in a parking lot. Slayton of Sparta bought a ticket and a drink at a grocery store after a long day of laying tile. The following morning, Slayton said he checked the results and discovered that the ticket was worth $1,178,746. He said he rushed to his fiance's workplace to tell her the good news. Then he ran a few errands, including taking his brother to go shopping at an auto parts store. Suddenly, however, about an hour later, he realized that he had lost the ticket, explaining that he couldn't find it anywhere. And Slayton said that he then retraced his steps and found the ticket on the ground in the parking lot of an auto parts store near the driver's side door of another vehicle. It's $1 million ticket, and someone stepped right over it, he said. So what an interesting play of events there. Feel-good story of the day. We love those. Let's talk about a couple of listings here as well that we've got in Tampa Bay. 12208 Four Oaks Road in Tampa. This is a 5-acre parcel of land zoned R9. And potential developers might want to rezone that, make it a commercial play. Great opportunity, 5 acres right here in Tampa Bay, Carrollwood, close to Del Mabry and close to the Veterans Expressway. 12208 Four Oaks Road in Tampa, listed just over $1 million. Also, sticking with the same theme of investment properties, land that you can build on, I've got a property at 12500 Hamlin Road. This is 41 acres in Spring Hill, Pasco County, and it's another opportunity for a builder, developer, entrepreneur. Invest in this land, buy and build, and potentially, hey, we talk about the inventory levels being so low. You build it, they will come. Kind of like Field of Dreams, right, with Kevin Costner. 12500 Hamlin Road, 41 acres available in Pasco County. One of the most hot real estate markets that you'll find. People are moving to Tampa Bay in record numbers, moving to Florida in record numbers. And you can see all of our real estate listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
Somewhere sunny and 75.
All right, we got our friend Chuck Peterson on the line. Hey, Chuck, how you doing today?
I'm good, B. How you getting along?
Yes, sir. Doing well. Suncoast Roofing in the house.
Yep.
Chuck, I wanted to pick it up on some of the materials and just kind of check in with you. You're out there in the field every day getting it done. What's happening in that area of scarcity?
We've talked about this in the past, but it's getting really tight as far as the shingles go. I mean, we've got big projects that we're having to put on hold because the shingle manufacturers literally just can't get enough shingles to come into the state, or can't get them made fast enough to distribute what's being bought right now. So it's getting to be a real challenge.
Wow. And on the labor front, we heard from on yesterday's show, we heard from Patrick Miranda. He runs a company, Access Group, which is a professional employer organization. He said he had some of the different folks that he's working with around the country. Some of the laborers, some of the construction workers received $1,400 checks, not only for themselves, but their wife and then their children incentives, the kids. And they just walked off the job. They said, hey, we got some money. We're going to go take a vacation. We're not going back to work.
Well, they won't be gone long because, as you well know, $1,400 in this day and time doesn't get you very far.
Yeah, good point. Good point. It just shows the nearsightedness.
They might take a week off because they hadn't had a week off in a while, but they're coming back.
Yeah, they'll be back. That's right. So the labor force, though, that's another challenge right now going on in the construction industry.
Oh, no question. I mean, and that's just not here either. That is all over the country. I mean, there's just, as you talk about quite a bit, the new construction side of Florida is up 20% from what it was every year going on, and you still have the same amount of remodeling work going on, probably more so than normal due to COVID. More remodeling going on, more new construction going on. So just the sheer volume is such that the labor pool can't keep up. I mean, it is really a challenge for everybody in the industry.
Yeah, it really is. So on that note, are you guys hiring?
We're always hiring. Yeah, we're we're looking for good guys, good production guys. We're looking for good sales guys. Good repair technicians to do commercial work. I mean, our business, as we talked about before, our business is still growing, and we're expanding. And I'm actually up in Jacksonville today. So I mean, we're just, thankfully, we're blessed to be very, very busy. And trying to keep up is a challenge. Just production wise, personnel wise.
Yeah, yep, I've seen that, and being the case. And it's speaking of expanding, I've just heard that hurricane season is also expanding.
Oh, I didn't know it was expanding, but it's coming pretty quick. I mean, heck, we're through the first 3 months of the year already, right?
Yeah, I think James was telling me that he read or heard that they expanded it a little bit. I think they're making it a little bit earlier as well. So yeah, hurricane season right around the corner. What are some of the practical tips that consumers, that homeowners can do to get ready for hurricane season?
Well, as any consumer should be thinking about is, hey, it's springtime now. Probably hadn't had anybody look at your roof in the last probably year. Let's be honest. And now's the time to have somebody come look at it to see if you need some repairs done to it. Need some little things fixed before the wind comes and pulls off a section of your roof. This is the one little bit of time we get a break. March and April before the rains hit, and then once the rains are over, it's going to be hurricane season. And I know why they're moving that season up early. If they're moving it early, is because remember last year we had 1 or 2 storms before the season started, and we had the exact same the year before that. So I mean, this weather pattern is just. It's coming. It's not a question of if, it's just a question of when. And, as a homeowner, are you taking care of your, one of the biggest pieces of your asset is your roof. Are you taking care of that?
Right. And also, are you taking advantage of some of the discounts that you can get? Speaking of that, there's some inspections that you guys offer, and then also we might need to get Jay Smith, A Snoop Inspection involved. But talk about, the wind mitigation, some of those different inspections that homeowners can look at and potentially take it to their insurer, or even their insurance broker agent, and say, hey, here's something that we've wanted to update you on.
Right. So there's the 2 biggest inspections, of course, are the 4-point inspection and the wind mitigation inspection. Unfortunately, they don't let licensed roofing contractors do either one of those, but Jay at Snoop Inspections is the best guy out there to do it. So, he will call us. We're actually going to do a commercial inspection on some roofs for him tomorrow over in Dunedin, because he doesn't necessarily get on the commercial, the multifamily roofs. But if you're a homeowner and you're trying to get your insurance number in line, the insurance company is going to require you to have either a new wind mitigation or a new 4-point inspection, one of the 2. Both of them include a roof inspection. So if you want to know where you stand before that inspection comes on your roof, you just need to give us a ring, one of our offices, or call Brandon on the hotline, and he'll get your information to us. We got guys that come out there. The inspections for free. If we find things that need to be done, we'll do that. We'll give you a quote for the repairs, so your roof is up to speed and ready for the season.
Yep, it's such an important part of the business, and even if you're running a business out of your home or personal side of things, your home is a business in a sense where you want to make sure things are in order. So we got about a minute left, and again, Chuck Peterson on the line here, Suncoast Roofing, suncoastroofing.com. You can find them online, commercial, residential roofing, all different types of roof types, shingles. You've got the aluminum or the metal roofs, as well as the tile roof. So final thoughts, Chuck, and maybe a word on contractor, interviewing contractors, how to be careful.
Yeah, so, I mean, if you're a consumer and you're going to have somebody come to your house, you just need to take the time, you need to take the time to just review and make sure who you're going to have coming to your house is licensed, insured, licensed in the city or the state or the county where you're at. Don't let somebody come over and just talk you into giving you a bunch of money down and they'll be back later to do the work. Just use some common sense. But check out who you're having come by. Check out who's coming to knock on your door.
That's right. All right, Chuck. Hey, thanks so much, my friend. Say hello to Mary and the team, and keep up the good work out there.
Okay, B. Talk to you later.
Take care.
Appreciate it.
All right. Chuck Peterson, Suncoast Roofing, Consumer Quarterback Show, longtime friend of the program. And we want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Do something kind for one another. And thank you for supporting our show, ConsumerQB.com. We'll see you next time. ConsumerQB.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for The Consumer Quarterback Show.